everyone. Welcome back to Secret Kelly Radio. I just kind of wanted to touch on what happened today, the events of today, and I also want to talk about like how long it's taken and any questions you have about the union. I see a lot of questions on the Twitter page, the union Twitter page. I see a lot of questions on my own page, and it's hard to get to all of them and really like discuss it the way that it needs to be discussed. So I have offered people to write into either my page, which is Mrs. Kelly Pierce on Twitter, or the union, which is APAG Union, and I'll answer your questions. But I do want to get into what this means for the adult industry as a whole, um, what a union means. I want to go over the union's dues and what the union's due goes to. I want to touch on who's on the board and their qualifications and how long they've been in the industry, and just know that daily we're fighting for you because we're models too. So I kind of want to go over all of that. So let me go to the first question though, because I kind of want to go in the questions first, and then I'll get into the other. Okay, so from Rod, it says first, how relieved are all of you now the day is over and coming back with a win? I think that we're just ecstatic that they gave us a seat at the table. That we're finally being heard, and I think a lot of that is because of all the models got actively involved, and plus having a union, which is so important as a working class. As a workforce, you need a union to really stand up for you and stand together because the government protects us. And so they took us seriously. We also got to thank XBiz Gustavo because he did the initial interview with them, and then he told them about us. So all of it came into play, and then obviously Alana and her greatness. She's such a wonderful leader. And then Ruby and George today in the meeting, and then it was just astounding to have that, and it's always a great thing when we win something like this. As far as we're so discriminated against, we're so marginalized because of what we do as a job, and they forget that we're people just trying to pay the bills, just trying to raise our families, just trying to make sure that we're okay in life, and just like they're going every day 9 to 5 to feed their families and to make sure they have a roof over their heads. So I'm just glad that we finally got a seat at the table, which is so important. We got to keep on. That's why we have to unionize. We have to keep joining together as a whole to get represented. At Instagram, online discrimination, and Washington, because they're the ones that make the legislation. They're the ones that made Sesta Fosta happen. They're the reasons why everyone's freaking out. We got to get in their faces. We got to say, hey, we're here, and let us speak for ourselves. It's so important models speak up for themselves. We have to let our voices be heard and stop letting other people speak for us, not just the ones that are positive, like, FFC and APAC and APAG, us as a union. We got to make sure that we all join together as a union and make sure that we're all being heard and we're all speaking out, because we all deal with different things on the internet as well in life. We have all different types of people in the industry. We have, plus size models, we have LGBTQ models, we have straight models. We all deal with different things on set. We deal with different things in life. We got to make sure that our voices are heard collectively, and we're bargaining with these companies like Instagram, like Twitter. We got to make sure that we're bargaining with Washington, getting legislators at home in our home states hear us, and also in Washington itself. So I think we're just really, really ecstatic that we actually got a seat at the table. First of all, that's a big one, because finally we're being heard from these power players. And that's the number one thing that we need to fight for. Um, so another question I got is, how soon do you think it's going to come into play that they're going to start reactivating the accounts? Well, I think it's going to be an ongoing process, honestly, because I think that Instagram rolls out everything in a process, as Facebook does. They talked about this new approval system, like, God, 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and it's still not up yet. I mean, it's working for some models, but it's not working for everybody. So I think it's going to take a little bit. We're going to have to educate. We're going to have to keep with them and building a rapport and making sure that they see us as workers and understand the adult industry and that we're not all trafficked, because it seems like where they're coming from with all the policy is that they're trying to protect those who are trafficked. And unfortunately, because we're in the adult industry, we're getting targeted because of that. So we need to help Instagram find ways or back doors that doesn't happen to us. We're also working towards getting our workers and adult models blue check marked so that there's no frauding and that they know that we're not being trafficked, hopefully, because we have to share our IDs and all the other stuff that comes along with getting your blue check mark. There's numbers of ways that we can work with Instagram to make it better for us as workers. Because like I said today on the union Twitter, we're basically in cells and we have no presence on social media. That's a big part of our cells and that's a big part of our income. So, yeah. Um, as far as like the unions dues go, Ashley, um, right now I did put it on the Twitter. We're still working on our site. The Mother Union site's ready to go, but we're still working on our site so we can have a members area and all the information will be on there. With the Instagram fight or InstaStrike, we've been really, really busy, and Alana has been running around you know, like crazy. It's just ridiculous. The woman, I don't know how she makes time for her family. Don't know how she makes time to work. I don't know how she makes time for the union. She is a multitasker. It's just amazing. Like, she was mostly the one that was answering all the models during when you guys were signing up for the Instagram form for the lawyer. Uh, she was the one that was doing all that mostly. I mean, I'm on social media and I answer questions here and there, but that woman, I'm telling you, she works her butt off and she deserves, so much credit for what she does. It's just amazing. But as far as I know, I can tell you exactly what we're charging for dues because we know some people are low income and we want to make sure that everyone can be part of the union without having to pay the full membership. So we did make a pretty cheap price plan because I was thinking, like, when I was thinking of the price plan with the union, like, a lot of us will pay for different apps on our phones for like photos or games or whatever we pay for. So we kind of came up with something which is kind of similar to that, where you get debited $8 a month until you make your yearly due. But we are making it a little bit cheaper for people that can't afford it, that are low income, where you only pay, I believe it's $96 a year instead of $125 a year. So it does work out in the end for you, definitely. So basically, when you pay $8 a month, we'll give you a union dues stamp, which will give you access to the website, access to the benefits, full union voting rights to attend meetings like our meetings that we do. You will be able to come and, uh, watch over what we're doing and making sure that we're working for you and not going against what you want. So, and then the right to, be able to have the right to run for office. Like I'm the secretary treasurer. So in 2 years, when you're a union member for 2 years, you'll be able to run for my office or the president or whatever office you want to run for. So the only thing about the low income is that we won't be giving you the union card because that's, overhead for us until you pay for your full year. Um, but all the other stuff you get. Now for the full union membership, um, that's $125 a year for the union membership card. You get, like I showed on my Twitter, I can show it again tonight if people want to see it. You get a welcome package. You'll get, again, full union voting rights to attend meetings, and the right to run for office or at the time of the election. So, yeah, that's kind of awesome. Of course, you may cancel at any time. We don't want to like force anyone into the union or keep you in the union if you don't feel like you want to do it anymore. Um, we just want to make you proud to be part of the union, really. We want your support. Um, of course, we all on the union board work voluntarily. We don't make any money from the union dues. Your union dues, go right back into the union. So, and all dues are tax deductible, just an FYI. So, just to let you know. But I just want to go over what your union dues go to, so you kind of get an idea of what, what it pays for. Like, it would kind of pay for an event like today, where we went to meet with Instagram. And we brought a lot of models, and we rented out vans, like the Mercedes vans, to get there. And we brought models to protest. That's what your union dues pay for. So your union dues are going to go to political activities and lobbying, to further our industry, of course, and our rights. They're going to go to union administration because it does cost a little bit of overhead to do our administration. General overhead, representational activities at conventions and functions so that we can show up at presidential events, senator, Congress events. We can make our voices heard there. So we can let them see us as workers and people, and that we're voters too. We pay taxes, we vote. They need to know this, and that, they need to make sure that we're also being heard as an electorate. So that's what it pays for. It also pays for employee benefits, because obviously, and benefits that we can give you now, we're paying for that monthly so that our union members can get access to all those great benefits. We're also going to be purchasing, investments in fixed assets. It helps us fight for our rights. It helps us pay for taxes, protests, obviously like today, committees and union projects, because we have a lot of committees and union projects that we actually need models to attend and get involved in. So if you're out there right now, we do need you on projects and committees. So if you're interested in joining that, you can always at the union, or you can email me at secretary_Kelly Pierce at apagunion.com. And so that just gives you kind of an overview view, Ashley, what your dues are going to pay for. And because it goes more to fighting for our workers' rights. We're going to be fighting eventually for residuals. We're going to be fighting for better percentages on campsites. We have a lot of plans ahead that we need to support of models to join, so we can make this happen for us and make our lives better for our work, and then also in our personal lives. So we have better income from our families. We're also working towards getting Union Plus benefits, and which we have working advantage benefits, but we're working on getting Union Plus benefits, which were even better. And they basically told us that once we build the union up more, they will take us more seriously because, Union Plus benefits are really, really great. Some of the things that Union Plus benefits will pay for is free college for union members. And you'll also get all the other kind of like the working advantage ones. We'll also get something similar to that, where, you get percentages off on hotels and travel and moving and going to the movies or going to shows or, paying for getting money off at like restaurants and things of that nature. So yeah, we were working towards getting that done so we can get really great benefits for all of our members. Working on that daily. We're also working on contacting businesses out of the blue and getting them involved with the union so we can get benefits through them if they want to join, like AT&T who decided to join the union, support us and give us money off on our phone bills every month for union members. So there's a lot of great things that we're working on daily for the union that happens when we grow the union, when it has union members. The more union members we have, the better we have at getting benefits, the better we have getting worker rights, the better we have as a presence in Washington, as a presence in our home states, etc. We need to stop hiding in the shadows and we need to get our faces out there. That's really what we need to do. We need to start getting our voices out there. We need to stop letting anti-porners get all the action in Washington and getting things like Sesta Fosta passed. We need to stop letting feminists speak for us and saying all of us are victims, because not all of us are victims. A lot of us are businesswomen and businessmen, and we're intelligent people that are more than able to speak out for ourselves. And we need to start doing it. We got to stop relying on third parties to speak out for us. And we definitely need to stop relying on feminists and these anti-porners to speak for us. We need to fight them head to head. And the only way to do that is to unionize and get our voices heard. We need federal government protection. We need to start collective bargaining with Washington and with companies, and we need to start joining with other unions that are trying to join us now, like the trucker union and the AB5 people, like Uber. They're trying to join with us. Alana went and protested with them. We have Lorena. There's so much that's going on behind the scenes, guys, that are just not being heard because we've invited people to come to our union meetings. And a lot of the stuff that we've done for you, we've done, because we want to work with models. We want to have you there. We've gotten a lot of girls out of bad contracts that hasn't really been given any kind of notification to. That, we've helped models like Ali Kali that's on our board now, who has been taking a sabbatical because she's got some, stuff going on. But she joined our union because we helped her with a bad contract. She believes in what we do. Things like Instagram is what is going to be happening going forward. We're going to be fighting for our rights, fighting for our voices to be heard, fighting to legitimize us. And how you do that is you go to Washington, you go to these companies, and you let them know that you're here, you're tired of it, you're going to start speaking for yourself. You don't need anybody else to speak for you. That is what unions do. We, the workers, are the voice. And that's who should be doing the speaking, not the companies, not anybody else, not third party, whatever. I don't want to call anybody else. I don't want to start drama with FFC or whoever. We need to start raising our own voices. We need to start unionizing collectively as a group and get out there and say, hey, this is what we want. This is what we demand. We're not going to bow to anything anymore. If you don't want to work with us, we're going to strike. We're going to protest. We're going to rebel. We're going to collective bargain as much as we can to legitimize us as workers online, to legitimize us as parents, as teachers, as whatever we want to be. there's so many people that have joined the industry that lose their jobs because they were part of our industry at one time. They paid for all this schooling to go to nursing, to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, to be whatever. Uh, and as soon as they find out they were part of this industry, guess what, guys? They are being fired. And it's things like that we need to fight against, because with the industry that is not going to be forever. And with talking about that, we need to talk about fighting for residuals, fighting for healthcare, fighting for or teaching models how to do their taxes so that when they retire, they have security when they get older, social security benefits and things of that nature. A lot of models don't know about this. Some models do and some models don't. We need to proactively fight and help and educate each other as well as outside the industry, you know? So that is just some of the things, Ashley, because I know this is long winded. Ashley, I was basically answering all of Ashley's questions, but that's a question I get a lot on here. Like, what is the point of the union? Should we unionize? I was answering that in a very long thing, but this is the kind of things that we need to be fighting for. So, yeah. uh, as far as joining community committees, Stephen, you can go again. I just mentioned a little bit earlier. You can either go to APAG Union, tweet us, and we will contact you, or you can contact me as a secretary because I deal with all relations. I basically handle most of the twittering. I basically handle most of the relations with models. Our vice president also does, Ruby. You can contact her, but contact the union, APAG Union, or contact me, Mrs. Kelly Pierce, or contact Ruby, the first number one. We will reach out to you, of course. We want to get you guys involved as much as possible. This happened because we collective bargained. This happened because we stood up and we said, hey, that we're not going to put up with this anymore. So, and then Instagram listened. They heard us. We now have a working relationship with Instagram, and now we can work on getting models' accounts back, work on getting us blue check marks, work on legitimizing us, in society. So, this is the kind of stuff that we need to be doing, guys. Let me check the union Twitter to see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that now. Sorry, I didn't retweet it on the union Twitter. Oh, let me do that now. 1 second. I think that's working now. Let me know. So, yeah. Basically, I kind of want to talk about the union for now and then what happened with the meeting today with InstaSTRIKE and everything. So basically, we've been working on this for a few months now. We have, especially Alana, we've been working on this for a few months, getting models' names together, fighting for models to get their accounts back, using social media to contact models. We've written to Facebook. Gustavo helped with it. XBiz helped with it. We have been, I've been spending late nights contacting models myself as well as Alana to do this. So today, obviously, it was awesome when we finally got to sit down with Instagram and get heard. And Alana, of course, Alana and Ruby, from what I saw from the quotes, because I wasn't actually in the meeting, I would have loved to have been in the meeting, but because my husband and I, we just bought a new house and, getting things situated and things like that, it's crazy. So I was kind of sad I couldn't go because I was so excited for everybody, but I'm so glad that Ruby and Alana and George were there, and as well as other models were there representing us like they should be doing. I loved what a lot of them had to say during the meeting, especially what um, the quotes I saw from uh, Ruby in particular. She made some really great points. From what I would have said, I would have liked to have seen, like, brought up the whole BBW thing or the plus size model thing, because what I understood from what she was saying is that the AI system they have that kind of, um, I guess, helps them with their billions of users to facilitate facilitate the site, is that it kind of goes with it sees how much skin you're revealing. So obviously, if you're a plus size model, you're going to be targeted by this AI system. So they need to do updating or finessing this, or make it where, they're doing this whole working with us, and they're going to make it better with where you can fight the community guidelines or fight your account being deactivated. But obviously, I mean, if it's targeting plus size models unfairly because of they're showing too much skin, some have gotten, deleted for showing an arm, that's ridiculous. So they need to do better with that too. So, but I just, and I believe her name is Kim, who was basically in charge of the Instagram meeting. She was the one that was saying that, the AI was targeting, it basically targets how much skin you're showing. And I loved what Michelle Montana said during the meeting. I mean, that was amazing. And Ruby, she was just on fire, and Alana, always is so well spoken, and she's so good at getting her message put across. And I'm just so proud of the industry right now. And this is the time I love being in this industry as a whole. I get so tired of model against model and company against model and fighting. When we come together like this, it's amazing. When we all just like really, really like get together and we say, hey, we fight against as one. This is when this industry is so beautiful, and it's when we get so much done and we just don't realize it. And we spend too much time bickering and fighting and whatnot. So we just really need to stop doing that. We need to stop having reasons like this be the only reason we come together. We get so much more done when we're actually coming together. So, I love that Ruby brought up the FASTA-SESTA anti-sex trafficking legislation, and brought up, fine points of it, because she like really studied it, and obviously because she had all the details when she was there, and I think they were kind of taken aback by that. That was awesome. That was just awesome. So, and I love that she said, another person's uh, I love that. Oh no, I'm sorry. I love that they brought up that both of them were mothers, like Alana and Monica and Ruby all brought up they were mothers, and they don't think that children should be on the platform if they're going to be sharing this kind of content from not just porn stars or adult models or cam models or phone models or whatever. They're seeing this from mainstream celebrities. They're seeing asses and boobs and butt, whatever. They're seeing this from mainstream celebrities. Kids are seeing this, not just, adults. There's 13 and older. They're seeing like Kim Kardashian post her, barely there clothing, and Miley Cyrus posting like, her boobs through see-through kind of clothing. Um, the list goes on. So supposedly it's a myth. Like she also said, it's a myth that you can't get your account deleted by reporting the account 1,000 times. But and they brought up the almond person, so I don't know. I mean, I know they have a new appeals process in place, but I'm hoping that as time goes on, we'll make the appeals process even better because I feel like they are lacking a lot about the education about our industry that needs to be, you know, you know, tackled. I guess is what you would call it. Tackle it. We got to tackle them and say, hey, this is what our industry is. This is, we're legal workers. What can you do to help us, not get our accounts deleted? What can we do? Just, and I would have loved to have seen a clearer TOS. I know that they didn't have a long time because they had other stuff, meetings going on, and so they didn't go over that with us. But I'm hoping that once we continue our relationship with them, we'll get a working TOS. Like, what is the TOS? What is allowable and what is not allowable? We need to get all the information. We need to work on getting our blue check marks. We need to, there's so much going forward with Instagram that we need to do that we didn't get to because they had a technology meeting right after. And so obviously they couldn't spend the whole day talking to us. So I love that we had representatives from companies there as well, obviously. And I wanted to say another thing. I understand that a lot of people have a personal vendetta against ManyVids, but ManyVids did help us get a lot of models in the know about the union and InstaStrike. They were totally, we were emailing back and forth with them, specifically Alana and then me this morning. ManyVids was 100% supportive, and we need to be supportive of companies that are going to support the union and our workers because many of the companies don't care. Obviously they didn't care that many of their models were being discriminated against because they didn't join. They didn't join the fight. They didn't do anything. So, that's a problem. If they're on Instagram sharing their stuff, all great. That's all great and good. But what about your models? What about the people that your workers? You also need to care about them. Great. You're fine on Instagram. You're fine on whatever, I mean, we too are, your models are affected though. You need to stand up for your models. So that's a problem that we need to address. And I'm glad that ManyVids did join us. So we need to give them credit for that. And other companies joined us. XBiz was awesome. AVN, awesome. We need to, also recognize what they do. So I understand that there's inner fights with ManyVids because of past instances that you felt you were discriminated against. I felt that I was discriminated against. I just don't, I can bring up the ManyVids thing, but I don't want to bring that up right now. But there is things that I have issues with ManyVids with and other platforms with. Obviously I've been talking about that for years with StreamAid and with MyFreeCams and a bunch of companies. So, but that's not the point of this. The point was for us all to come together and support us. But we need to recognize companies when they do support us as models, when they're standing up for us. And I do realize that some are saying that, well, their account was deleted, so that's the only reason they had joined, or whatever. But a lot of models got involved because they did inform the models that were on their platform that were doing this. So yeah, you have to be, give them credit where credit's due, guys. Don't be totally critical because being critical shuts people off. When you're critical all the time, shuts people off. We have to open an open discussion and an open dialogue and, let them hear us and we can hear them and, maybe meet as a union and discuss what you have a problem with ManyVids or discuss what you have a problem with this company or problem with that company. We need to start speaking to their leaders collectively and we can start addressing some of these issues instead of going on Twitter fights and Twitter rants. We can start meeting them as professionals, with the union and saying, hey, this is what some of the models are saying. This is the problem. What are you doing to address this? What can we do to make this better? that's the kind of stuff that unions do, and that we need to do with these companies. So yeah. Um, oh, I said that the other day, Alicia. I said that the other day. I'm like, if you don't want any kind of bad publicity, you don't want models going off on you on Twitter, then don't mess up with like the share something. You know, your language needs to be very clear, because we models are tired of taking bullshit. You know, point blank period. So they need to be very clear about their language. I believe that Alana did have another call with them, and she'll be announcing something about that soon, I think. So language is so important on a website. To models know exactly what's going on. Your customers know what's going on. And so there's no interpretation of you scamming people, or there's no misunderstanding. So yeah, we've addressed that with the ShareSome owner. So hopefully we get that resolved. Um, Thank you, Dawn. Is there any other questions? I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I basically kind of went over the union dues, what it pays for, um, our working advantage uh, benefits, what went on with the meeting today, what our plans are for the future. Our plans are for the future, if you want to know. So I'm going even more into detail, is that, our plans are for the future is to continue working with Instagram to make it better for us models, obviously, and companies, because we see a lot Cam 4, Minivins, Exotica were all deleted too. So we're going to, talk about that with them. We are going to raise money to do charity events, fundraising. We're going to start getting out in the community, getting people to know us as people, as workers, as everyday people, which is important. We need to stop just selling the fantasy, which is great for ourselves, but it's not great for our public relations with, um, society. We need to get out in society and start representing ourselves. We're going to start showing up at conventions, like say Elizabeth Warren convention, we're going to show up there, or a Biden's convention, we're going to show up there and start asking questions, hard questions to these politicians, and hold them accountable for legal workers, for us. Again, the union is all about decriminalizing full service sex work, meaning escorting, for people that don't know what that means. We're all for that, but we as a union only represent legal workers. So um, that's all we can do. But we are for the decriminalization of sex work, and we're so pleased that California is talking about doing it, where it will be where sex workers in California would have immunity from getting arrested. We're thrilled about that. And we're also thrilled that New York is talking about making it, we're talking about decriminalizing it. That politicians are actually speaking up and saying this. And the way that is because sex workers are actually showing up to these events and getting their voices heard. We adult performers, even though we're legal and we're kind of late, we're kind of lazy. We let FFC do all the work, and then we say, "Oh, okay, FFC, you're doing the work," but we're not actually showing up at events. We're not actually showing up at these conventions. We're not letting them see us, let them see our humanity. So that's what the union's working on. We are working on getting our voices heard as workers, as models, as legal workers. So we need models to join. We need models to get out there. We need models to start getting political, for our industry, because we are working. The longer we're silent, the longer anti-porn people, the longer feminists who are against us get the upper hand. They get the narrative. They get the politician's ear. They get the narrative in our media, in our society, because their voices are being heard and ours aren't. So that is what we need to start doing. Unionize people so we can get this done. Because I don't know about you, I've been in the industry, God, 10 plus years, and I don't really see any kind of change. Honestly, if anything, it's getting worse. Our rights are being taken. Now there's states trying to make porn, a public health crisis. Different states. I wish Ruby was on here right now, because Ruby could tell you all this. Ruby is so, she always posts stuff on her Twitter of all the stuff, all the happenings are going on, trying to fight porn. So we need to be proactive. We also need to start searching this stuff out. If you see something, contact the union. Let us know, because, Ruby's not going to see everything. I'm not going to see everything. Alana's not going to see everything. And the only way we're going to know everything is that we all have an eye on it. We all got to keep an eye on it, guys. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. Don't be afraid to tell us, hey, this is a problem, Alana. This is a problem, Kelly. This is a problem, Ruby. This is a problem, whoever. We need this fixed. And you know what? Because we're models, we're going to hear you out. And we're not going to take the side of the company. We're going to take the side of the model most of the time if they have proof that they have been wrongly treated. We're going to take the side of the model with Instagram. We're going to take the side of the model with legislators. We're going to take the side of the model because we are models. There's no conflict of interest here. We're for you, by you. So yeah. Um, I would love an update with them. I'm sure Alana will get the update. So we're going to be talking to them again. I know Alana emailed them when I was on the phone with her, because I was like, did you bring up the fact that we need to be checkmarked? The conversations were so going on, and they kind of steered the conversation too. So that was kind of part of the problem. So Alana was like, damn it, I forgot to say that. So she emailed them, and then I guess she got a response. So yeah, that's on there. We have so many ideas, and part of the problem is that we had so much to cover, and they were busy explaining to us about what they're doing and what their side of the argument. So I mean, and we only had so long to do the rebuttals and make our voices heard. So we're hoping with the continued relationship that we get our voices heard, we get the things that we want. Collective bargaining will do that. And yeah, definitely. We want to be able to have blue check marks for all models, because I know I myself, as a model, I get so many fake accounts on Facebook and on Instagram, and I've not really had a lot of issue with getting deleted by Instagram, but I have been deleted several times by Facebook, and then I see these fake Facebooks stay up, and they post nude photos of me on those Facebooks. I'm like, what the fuck? How are they staying up and I'm getting deleted for nothing? I'm getting deleted because I'm the actual adult performer, I guess, and they target me. And then, on Instagram, I get people on there that share my pictures and everything else, and they stay up. And for a few months there, guys, I was literally not able to post photos of myself until I wrote to them through the Facebook and Instagram link I shared on our Twitter, and they finally got a hold of me. So now what I can tell you, what I was told by the person that actually works for Facebook, because I use the Facebook link, what they told me is that the reason my account was not able to post selfies is because my account was on watch. So I had like a watch on my account, and I guess like my boobs were big, and the AI system picked up on that being too much skin, and so it would say community guidelines, community, like every picture I posted. Um, so I would basically have to put a sheet over my head and post a photo because it's the only way I could post a photo. But so I mostly had to use my account turned basically into a quote account, just quotes from my Twitter or quotes from the APAG union that I was trying to get seen, and I couldn't post any selfies, which was just crazy to me. So what they told me I had to do was I had to erase my adult website, which was my cam site. I have a white label with StreamMate, and it was Kelly's Dream House, and so I was, had to take that down. Then my little memory or the little video areas at the top, the little where you can put like your advertise your different things. They told me I couldn't advertise my OnlyFans, I couldn't advertise my dirty Snapchat, I couldn't advertise my Kelly's Dream House, I couldn't advertise, nothing adult related because they didn't see soliciting for legal work any different than soliciting for illegal work. So I had to delete all that, and then as soon as I did that, no problems. And I kept on testing. I was like, well, if I get my account deleted, I guess I get my account deleted, or deactivated. So I kept on testing. I posted like pictures with my nipples marked out. I posted pictures of me fully nude with flowers over my breasts, over my nipples, and my private parts, and nothing. Nothing. And before that, I was getting community guidelines, over and over again. It's crazy. So yeah, since then I have not had any issue, and I'm hoping that's going to be the same thing for everybody on Instagram. Like we all get that right, especially my plus size sisters, because I really feel akin to my plus size sisters because we kind of deal with a lot of or I feel like kin to our plus size sisters. Because I call them sisters is the reason, because I'm a transgender woman. If people are listening don't know that. Because of the fact we kind of deal with the same kind of issues. We've kind of been the black sheep in this industry a long time. Obviously, I think sometimes the BBW industry is treated worse than we are as a trans industry. Even at award shows and things of that nature. So, and I love that we both have we have our what trans call a lot of trans call men that like us tranny chasers. They have their chubby chasers. The list, we have a lot of similarities. So I feel like a certain affinity to BBW girls and models. So I'm hoping they'll fix that AI system. If they don't fix the AI system, at least BBW models will be able to challenge it as much as possible so they keep their accounts. So that's what I'm hoping for. We shall see. I don't want to speak too soon, but I know that the union board, Alana, Ruby, myself, Amber, George, Tony, India, Ali, Kali, all of us are dedicated to working for you, getting your voices heard, and making sure our rights are furthered. Because when you guys have rights, guess what? We, the models on this board, have rights. So it's in our interest to make sure that all of us are collectively getting our foot in the door. It's collectively for all of us because we're models too. So yeah. Oh, Michael, you're listening now. Hi, Michael. But yeah. So I don't know what else to say, really. I think that answers everything. If anyone has any other questions, of course, I'll take them on my Twitter or the union page. Uh, but we are so excited for this. We want to thank all the companies that got involved. We want to thank the business owner of a company that donated to the union so we could make this happen. We want to thank the fans and models that have been buying t-shirts to support the union. We want to thank the models that have recently signed up as union members. We want to thank all the models that aren't union members that have got involved, that have fought for your right to be on the internet. We want to thank the models that showed up today, especially the models that were in the meeting, like Monica. We want to thank the support of the fans that have been actively involved. And I want to thank my fans, because my fans, oh my goodness, you guys have been with me through thick and thin. You guys know I'm one of the most political girls out there. And even though a lot of times my political views don't align with yours, you allow me to have my views. And that means everything to me as a model, as a person. It keeps me in a positive mood, that I have support either way. And so I thank you guys for that. You guys are amazing. Um, but yeah, I think I want to kind of end it with that. If anyone has any other questions, I'm always here. Alana's always here. Ruby's always here. We're mostly the ones that are most active on Twitter. Amber, of course, too. She's active on Twitter, so you can always reach out to Amber. Say, hey, Amber, Amber Lynn. I call her the living legend, because she is. She is the living legend. Like, Amber Lynn has been in this industry since like '80s. And she's still here, and she's still looking hot, and still got her thing going and everything. So I aspire to be like her. That's that's what I aspire to be. I want to be, you know, working in this industry until, you know, later on in life, because I love it. I love what I do. I love the fans. I love the models. I love the companies for the most part. And so I want to be here too, like Amber has been. I'm proud of my industry. I'm proud of what I do. I'm tired of hiding what I do. What I do should be legitimized. I'm helping a lot of men, a lot of women. I'm helping a lot of people. You know, I, you know, we take the ones that, aren't getting dates. We take the ones that are handicapped. We help the men overseas. We help men, sex should not be something to be ashamed of. I want people to embrace their sexuality. I want people to embrace what they're into and not be ashamed of it. We should not be ashamed of sex. So, yeah. But yeah, I want to end it with that. I'll see you guys on Twitter. See you guys on my camshas. See you guys hopefully at an event, wherever. But yeah, thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys next time. And guys, I just want a little update. As soon as Patreon approves my Patreon, they haven't approved it yet. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll start doing my trans dating classes and my weekly radio shows. So let me know if you guys want to be part of that. Get in on the action. Love you. Bye bye.